Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is, I guess, the last day of October. Happy Halloween. Hmm. I mean, I always do this, because I do the day of 31st, the day before. So it's a little bit awkward because, in the sense that, like, if I thought about it ahead of time, maybe I should have dressed up in a Halloween costume. I don't really have anything now, though, so it is what it is. But yeah, well, happy Halloween, I suppose. And yeah, let's get started on today's poem. We chat about just like random stuff yesterday. So yeah, today I ran like a couple of miles. I'm just chilling. Marathons in 3 days. I know I talk about it a lot, but honestly, it is right now. Everything this like that is the only thing in front of me, kind of. The only thing that's in my mind. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously. Yeah, today we have let's get started at today's problem. Actually, before I start, I think people always ask me comments about it, but about just in general. Um, yeah. So okay, so let me. I do try to answer questions from the previous videos or previous comments or whatever, or if I find interesting. It's I'll answer this one. So yeah, I usually ask, what are your views on new programmers taking AI, taking help from AI to debug their code? If you're starting out, how do you do it? I think first of all, just to give a little bit of background, I started like 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago now. I forget what year it is. And what that means is that Google wasn't very good back then. Wikipedia wasn't even good back then. So I literally went to the school library, my uni library, and took out books. People ask me for book recommendation. That's why I don't really have good ones. Because the algorithms part, I would the algorithms part I would just take the class, right? Like I took algorithms in college in uni. But the thing that I struggle with, and some of you might know this, and maybe it's still true now, if you take an algorithms class in college, maybe that's not true actually, I don't know, but it used to be like a math class, right? Basically, you write stuff, you write complexity, etc., but there's not much coding. So that was my gap, is that I didn't know much about, like, I knew algorithms and I knew coding to a little bit, but I didn't know how to put them together. So the book that really helped me was called Algorithms in C. It's a book by Dr. Robert Segwich, I think. It's off my head, so I should have probably prepared a little bit beforehand. So yeah, so which honestly I don't know if I would recommend right now, right? I mean, you're watching this video, maybe not in C, but you see a lot of people code. You could go to like a recent contest. You can click on editorials. You can click on solutions. There are a lot of things. You can see code everywhere nowadays, right? So that's doesn't really apply to me, or wouldn't apply to you. As for AI, I think it's a little bit tricky, right? I think for algorithms, it's possibly okay. I think the thing is that, well, one is that I've never used AI for algorithms, right? So maybe I'm not qualified to even give you this answer, right? Because I just never used it for algorithms. Like I use it for minor stuff, and I use Quad Code from time to time to do like scripts from time to time, right? I have a $20 subscription, or whatever it is. And I do, and and from there I am very well aware of its limitations, or maybe not well aware, but good, like a good grasp, because it just, there's a time where I look at this, I'm like, no, this is not acceptable, like you have to do better, but that comes from knowing what that means, right? And I could imagine that for algorithms, which I've never done, because, I mean, to be frank, I either like I know all the stuff that I need to know for algorithms for the most part, right? If I'm doing code force, maybe we'll revisit that. I've never done code force in this new era of like the last couple of years, that I can remember anyway. And like division 2, even like of code force without a time limit, meaning offline, off contest, I expect myself to solve it, right? Like, so I would not expect to need help necessarily. I mean, there are a couple of things that I talk about when to move on from a problem. I have a video about it. If I don't link it below, remind me on the comments. but yeah, as for AI, honestly, I think I don't know, right? All this context is just to say the problem that I would imagine with AI is that it sounds good 80% of the time or whatever percentage of the time, but you might, if you don't know the answer or if you don't know what is optimal, you might not know AI is wrong to either correct it or ask for clarification or ask for more details. And if you're like starting out, I mean, I guess you could copy and paste problems. I don't know, right? I don't know how good it is there per se. I mean, good enough for advent of code, but that's another story. But what I mean is that like if it gives you something that is 90% correct, would you even know how to ask like, even if Quad Code knows, would you be able to ask it a question in a way such that it gives you the correct answer, right? And that I don't know. I don't know if someone who don't know already know the answer knows, right? And I'm coming from the background of Quad Code. I know what I want and I know how to do what I want. I'm just lazy. And maybe some stuff with syntax, right? Like if I use a bash script, and honestly, bash a shell script, like I don't know how to do it. I mean, I know how to do basic things, but like the more complicated things, I just never practice enough to kind of be in my head, right? So like stuff like that, I know what I want and I know what the things I want look like. Like I imagine if I ask Quad Code to ask for some Python stuff, like it's just me being lazy. Like I know what I want and I know how it looks like it, and there are iterations where I'm just like, even when it's correct, I'll be like, oh, no, it's correct, but you should do it this way. It's cleaner. And then they'll be like, you're absolutely right, right? So I don't know. This is a very long way of saying it could be helpful. It could be a good first pass, but I don't know. I can't imagine it. And yesterday we were talking about this silly Ask Lead thing. So I've never used Ask Lead, and it doesn't really. I don't know, right? Hopefully that's a good enough starting point from what I think. I mean, obviously at the end of the day, you have to figure out what matters to you, and what, like how much in terms of investment in time and money possibly for like. ChatGPT is mostly free as far as I can tell, right? I mean, obviously you could pay for it, but ChatGPT is free. So, is it okay? Because it's free, maybe, but I don't know. But I would say, like, as someone who is an expert in, or I would consider myself an expert, you may disagree, in like algorithms, I would never ask it anything, right? Like I might ask it for, or at least in terms of like competitive type things, right? Like I may be like sometimes I forget the names of things. I would be like, oh, I need the name of the algorithm that does this, and it does okay. Also because if it's wrong, I would know immediately, right? Because I'll be like, no, that doesn't sound right. Because I know it, I just don't remember the name of it or something, right? Because there are definitely things where, like even for travel, right? Another category that I'm not an expert in, but I'm just doing research, and then I'm like fact checking. I'm like, no, this is totally wrong because you cannot get from A to B. I'm trying to work out itinerary for my trips and stuff like that. So I don't know. So I think the thing is that, yeah, I think the biggest problem might be that you might not know what the correct answer looks like, and you might not know that you need to ask for clarification. And then at the end of the day, you have to figure out how like how you're able to kind of learn from it, right? That's not to say that AI doesn't have abilities. Maybe you could use AI to generate a list of flashcards of obvious things that you could learn and memorize for whatever reason, right? Like that could be a thing. But I would not necessarily be like, oh, let's use this in place of a textbook or something like that, or a tutor or practice, right? At the end of the day, yeah, you still have to know how to code, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess that part maybe is more debatable nowadays. I don't know, right? But I think you need to know. I mean, my opinion, and it may, these things I do not hold myself to it per se, because these things can change very quickly. When the world change, I change my mind, right? It's not, what I'm saying now may not be true in 5 years, 2 years, who knows, right? But for now, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. You have to do your math and analysis and who you want to be. But for me, right now, I'm very happy that I know how to code, because I know when Claude Code or ChatGPT is giving me bad code, right? Yeah. And I would also say, actually, let me step back from that. This is a very long intro because I'm answering this question, even though I didn't intend to, but it is something that I, and I'm not, I don't know, whatever, right? Is that, with all that said, Claude Code and ChatGPT was very helpful in me learning Swift, right, for iOS development. But that's not quite the same as just learning algorithms, right? Because and even then, not that I know it's wrong a lot, but I do come into cases where it does stuff and I try it and it doesn't work. I'm like, no, this is wrong. And then they're like, oh yeah, it does, So that is even, but as a result, I did learn Swift in that way because I'm like playing around and I type it manually and stuff like that. But also I know, like, when I look at the code in a deeper thing, and it's just for me, it's just syntax, right? Just to be clear. So it's not like I need to learn anything that drastic. I'm just like, oh, I know what I want to do. I don't necessarily know the exact code in Swift, or maybe even the clean way to do it in Swift. Claude Code, I don't know if it doesn't do the clean way either, but that's another story. All right. Sorry for the long intro. Hope that makes sense. Feel free to ask questions, both Ayush and also anyone else. One of the reasons why I kind of rename or relabel these videos is so that we kind of talk about these things as they change over time. So because who knows what happens in like I said, I don't know, right? When AI changes to the point where you can do certain things, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to hold back on, like, I'm not going to hold myself to the past, but I'm only saying what I think right now, right? And it could be wrong. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. So let's take an actual look at this problem. We have 3289. There's two sneaky numbers of Digitville. All right. I don't know what is Digitville. Okay. I mean, at least they try to add a cute story. Okay, fine. I approve. In the town of Digitville, there are a list of numbers called nums containing integer from 0 to n-1. Each number is supposed to appear exactly once in the list. However, two mischievous numbers sneaked in addition that make a list longer than usual. Okay, so basically, there's a long way of saying you have a list of numbers. Two numbers appear twice, right? Trying to think. I mean, obviously, there are two very basic ways of thinking about it, right? One is just having a dictionary, a set, something that allows you to check the frequency, right? So that's obvious. And then the other is also obvious, is sorting. You sort and it'll appear next to each other. I'm trying to think whether there's like any clever ways of thinking about this. So is it, okay, so every number from 0 to n-1 is true, right? So that means that, so the classic problem is that, let's say you have one extra number, right? One repeated number even, right? But you have this number, this sequence from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, all the way to n-1 in this case, right? And then the idea here is that if you sum it up, then it's going to be n-1 times n over 2, right? And then plus some extra x, and then so it's just going to plus x because x is the repeated number, and then you get this. But now, of course, we have two numbers, right? So it's going to be like x and y, and then maybe plus x plus y, right? And then the question is, I feel like there is like one where like you sum up the square of the numbers. I think you can do it that way, but I never remember that one. Maybe I'll use ChatGPT for that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could use the square way for sure. Actually, let me learn that. Sum of the first x numbers squared. I mean, I might not use it, but I want to. Oh, I do know this one, right? But yeah, there's a formula where you have like 0 square. I mean, yeah, plus 1 square plus 2 square plus dot 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 n square plus, in this case, x square plus y square. The first, well, this is actually n minus 1, but for this particular problem, but you could just use a new n or whatever. Yeah, and of course, in this case, it would be equal to. I actually do know this one. I don't know why I know this one. But it's equal to, well, the first part about the x and the y is just going to be equal to n minus 1 maybe. I don't know if I'm off by 1, but n times 2 times n plus 1 or something, is it? I don't remember. I mean, I think this is right, but this is off. But maybe, I think it's off by 1. I think this is n. Oh, yeah, this is n minus 1, right? Yeah, I think this is this over 6, right? And then plus x squared plus y squared. So then from this, you have two unknowns with 2 formulas, and you could figure it out. I don't know if I want to do it this way. I'm just saying that that's something that you can do. The only reason is because laziness. You could, right? Because you have 2 formulas, you have 2 unknowns. This is a number, this is a number, right? Actually, let's try. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get it, but it may be the first time in a long time I've done this. When I was younger, I probably would have gotten it, but it's been a while. Yeah, right. So then now total is equal to sum of nums, and then total 2 maybe for square is equal to x times x for x in nums, right? So then now yeah, so then now what happens, right? So we have oh yeah, this isn't, I mean, this is n, but we also want there's a different n thing, right? Where so maybe this minus 2 to get their n from 0 to n minus 1, right? So then now there's this minus, okay, or xy is equal to total minus this n times, or n minus 1 times n over 2, right? So something like that, right? And then x squared y squared is equal to total 2 minus this thing, right? Hopefully this is right. Right? So then we could print it out. Actually, and I actually want to use this just so that, because I actually now by pigeonhole, this should be divisible by 6. This is clearly divisible by 2. But I guess it's been a long time. We're all exploring things together now, right? All right. So yeah, so you have 1 and 2, right? So then how? This is more, just to be clear. I mean, my variable names are kind of terrible, but so is x plus y, x2, y2, obviously, right? Okay. Then now, how do we fix this? That's a good question, and it deserves a good answer. And is this even right? Because if this 0, 1 square and 0 square should be 1. This should be 1, right? Why is this wrong? Did I mess up? Oh, I took out the print. I was like, why is nothing printing? Because you took it out. Yeah, that means that this is not right, right? Because n minus 1 times n plus 1 times 2. Okay. I think I confused myself with the thing. Because it's n minus 1 times n plus 1 times 2 times n minus 1 plus 1 over 6, right? Is that right? So basically this should be like, for example, with n is 2, so it's going to be 1. So this should be 1 if this is 2, right? I guess we could just print it up. Yeah, so total is 2. Total square is also 2. But this number, so I know this is an easy problem, and I'm up solving it obviously because we already talked about how to do it. But yeah, this number should be a whole number, and this is clearly not a whole number, which is why did I mess up something? N minus 1 times. I mean, all right, let's just be less dumb, maybe slightly, right? So then we return x times x plus 1 times 2 times x plus 1, right? Divided by 6. Maybe I have to do it this way. I don't know where the beep is. Where is the beeping? Is it my firearm thing? Anyway, and then now we do f of n minus. Oh, is it n minus 1 or? Okay, so maybe I had some. I thought I filled it in correctly, but maybe not. Well, maybe this is. Let me double check real quick. Okay, no, this is. I don't know why. Like I thought I filled this in, right? N minus 1 times n, which is this part, because it's n minus 1 times n minus 1 for x. Oh, silly boy. Right, so I guess that's it. Okay. But we could keep it here anyway, right? Why not? I mean, it's fine. We already wrote it, and it's cleaner. We could probably rewrite the other one too, but for now, let's see if we could solve this. Okay. Okay, so this is 1, 1, right? All right, then how? Okay, we have these two formulas, right? So we have something and right? How do we solve this? Well, we squared this number. So we square this number, we have x squared plus 2x y plus y squared, right? And then now that means that if you subtract them, then you have 2 times x times y is equal to some other number. Does that help us? Or am I just making things up? Because that's still, does that help us? Does that help us? I don't know. I'm really bad at math, as you can tell. But yeah, so let's say we have this. Then now what, right? It's equal to some constant. We don't know one or the other, right? In this case, it would be 0, so that would just be really weird. But for this case, listen, I'm showing you my vulnerable side, all right? Please be kind. But also, like, if you want to do it the easy way, you would have done it already. I'm like really bad at. I feel like I should figure this out because I feel like this is something that, like, I should be able to, but I am kind of bad. Okay, so now we have 3 formulas for 2 variables. And then we still have x plus y. Can I use that? I mean, you can't really. Okay, so you have. Maybe that doesn't help. Oh, I think I'm just dumb, right? Because you can do something like just substitution, right? I'm just dumb. So you have, for example, x plus y is equal to 1, right? And then you just substitute it, x is equal to, I don't know why I'm so dumb, is equal to 1 minus y, right? And this is from here, right? So then now you substitute it in x squared, you put this in, right? Here, and then now you know the square root of the other one, right? Why am I so dumb? Okay, fine. Okay. How do I actually write it? Okay. So that means that wait, did I actually figure it out, or am I just dumb? Well, we don't know what x and y is, right? So I do need to write this out, actually. So then now it's going to be 1 minus y square plus y square is equal to some other number, I don't know, C2 for another constant, right? That we calculated. Of course, that's just 1 minus 2y plus y square, right? Plus y square is equal to C2. Is that right? Right? Like that's just polynomial, right? And then now you have 1 minus but like I mean I see the way to do it, but is that like not crazy? Because then now you have to solve the, I mean, I guess then now you just do the what's it call it? Pythagorean's theorem. But that just sounds like crazy talk, right? Like, I mean, we can do it this way, but would that like be useful? I don't know. But I'm trying to like I don't know. Maybe it's useful, maybe it's not. I'm gonna. I mean, I guess that's the way to do it. I don't know. I'm trying to think whether like there's a dumber way, but maybe this is actually pretty dumb because you learn it in like, I don't know. I don't know when people learn it. I learned it in like 3rd grade or something. But so I guess so. All right. I mean, what is the formula again? Square root of actually I don't remember. No, I remember it. Square root of 4ac, and this c is different than that c. Negative b or something. And that's it. I say Pythagoras, didn't I? I don't know why. Wow, man, I am illiterate. I mean, obviously, I meant quadratic equation. You know, it's this, right? What is it? Negative b times this over 2ac or something, or 2a. Yeah, but it's been a while. I don't know. All right. I mean, I guess that's it. Okay, so. Okay, so we just have to formulate how to do this, right? So okay, so we have this thing, right? So we're not doing this anymore. So okay, so we're not doing this or this. I just thought maybe we could do it, but maybe not. Okay, so that means that we have 1 minus y. So x is 1. So we have this. Let's actually put this in as c, or in this case xy. We'll call xy c1. No, for constant one. No, I don't know. I'll just call it sum or total. Right? I mean, we already use total. Let's go to xy then. Okay, so then we're xy, right? And then this is xy. This is xy. This is xy square. But then as a result, that's going to be minus 2 times xy times y, right? This xy is very confusing. I'm sorry. But yeah, but then here, minus 2 times, right? Is equal to this other constant that we have, and this constant is actually here, also confusingly named. And then now we have to fit it in, right? And then this is Wait, don't we have to subtract this? Did I confusing things? Oh man, I am so bad at math. Okay, so when this is equal to 0, right? So that means that, well, this is a constant. So we can actually subtract it on both sides. So we have minus x2, y2, minus 2 times this constant, plus 2y squared is equal to 0. And then now we have it, right? Then now a is in here. A is equal to 2, right? B is equal to 2 times xy. And then C is just equal to xy squared minus x2, y2. I think that's right. And then now we that's how you would solve for it. And yeah. And then now you would have, I'm very slow today, clearly. Well, you have to assert that, okay, well, I actually just, let me label it. I guess I could have done this. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 2 times xy. Actually, I guess I already wrote it, but mostly, maybe not. Right? So then we have to assert that b squared minus 4 times a times c is greater than or equal to 0. If not, then I don't know. Then we're just having a bad time. But otherwise, isn't there like a plus? Oh no, this is the plus. Oh, that's why I was like something. There's a plus minus somewhere. That's why I was like, because there are 2 roots, right? I am very confused these days. Okay, so then now, yeah, we have square root of this. Is it called the determinant? Right? Did I make that up? I don't remember anymore. So now you have minus b plus d over 2 times a. So that's root 1. Wait, what is this solve for? This solves for y, right? Yeah, this solves for y. Why? How are there 2 roots? I mean, I guess there are 2 roots, but what does that mean for us? Guess we'll see. I guess one of them is negative, maybe. I don't know. Let's just put it out. I guess we have decided. Why are there 2 roots? I guess they're the same, but also clearly I've done something wrong. Did I do it? Huh. I think I'm just dumb here, actually. And maybe I will leave it as fractional just to make sure that I'm sanity checking. Okay, so at least they're different numbers, but definitely not great, right? Am I off by something? I feel like we're off by a little bit because this number looks, I don't know, not great, right? All right, well, time to check some maths. B squared minus 4ac. I mean, this is, oh, what? Oh, okay. I copied and pasted and I messed up. Okay. See, now we have one of them, and the other one is, okay, well, that's not so good. Huh, did I mess up the sign? I mean, it looks close. Though, I don't know why, I mean, I don't know why it would be for both of these, but, what did I mess up? Did I mess up a sign? Negative b is minus, oh yeah, no, this is subtracting, so yeah, okay, so that makes sense actually, or it's fine, I don't know. All right. All right. In any order. I actually am a little bit surprised that, I don't know, I actually honestly only expected one of the numbers, but I guess, I mean, I don't know why both roots would be the answer. Maybe I'm just bad at math. I'm really rusty in math because I just never do it. Like, you know, like all you see me, like all the YouTube videos that you see me doing stuff, that's all the math I do for the most part. I mean, I can see how that you can solve for one and then the other in the sense that if you have something like this, then you have this, but also, you know, y is equal to xy minus x, and then you could do it the other way, maybe that's a justification, but having these as the roots is kind of awkward to me, honestly. But we'll see if this works. I mean, it's very possible that this is wrong. Why is this not? Oh. I'm just worried about the type, and I guess the D. Oh no, yeah, the D being that makes sense because of the square root. Like, is it always the case that our constant makes it so that this works? I don't know, to be honest. But I guess let's just try this. I mean, this part is a hack, but so let's try that. All right, let's YOLO submit, and it could be very wrong. I wouldn't be surprised. If nothing else, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was just wrong from like position or something. But I'm happy I solved it this way. I mean, obviously we could have done it a easy way. What did I do last time? Yeah, put it in a set. That's like a 10-second solution, honestly. What's the second one? Put in the frequency table. Why did I change that to frequency table versus set? I don't know. Maybe I was just talking about how much faster you can type it. But yeah. But you know, today we did it the interesting mathy way. I was always aware of this way, but I don't remember the last time I did it. I probably have done it though because I've done everything in the. It feels like you know, I have a lot of even just videos, right? So, but I don't remember anymore. I might have done it, don't remember anymore. But I'm glad that I kind of solved it this way and kind of, you know, work through the math, even if the language is a little bit awkward. Maybe I could have used a drawing pad, but I think this is reasonable other than the crappy constants we used. But yeah, okay. I mean, and of course, this is going to be linear time, right? Constant space, linear time, just because you have to do the sums, but otherwise, you know, we just have a lot of constant e things. That's it. That's all I have for today. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. This may be my first and hopefully only 40-minute easy video. I don't know. If you're watching all the way to the end, leave a comment as well. Give me some props for a easy video. Thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy, do mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye-bye.